Going to be me installing an auxiliary tank in my F250. I purchased it from Northern Tools. I bought a gravity feed adapter that feeds the diesel into the filler neck. And I have a solenoid I'm going to use so that I can flip a switch on my Upfitter switches to do it without me having to go in the bed of the truck and turn the handle, so that I can actually do it, I think, when we're going down the road. So if this has any interest to you, please stick around and watch. Thank you. Well, the first thing I wanted to do was compare the two pipes to make sure that the filler I have fits the same size as I've got on the truck, and it appears to be exactly the right size. So I think I got the right kit. So that's first thing. Before I cut or remove anything, I wanted to make sure that this would fit. And then, so as you can tell, I'm gonna have to cut this and use the hoses that came with the kit to graft this in so that I can use the drain. So the next thing I need to do is check and make sure there's no anything in the way. Whoa! Make sure there's nothing in the way of attaching the tank, because I have to drill holes and I have to secure the tank to the bed. And as you can tell, I'm gonna be attaching it here at the front, somewhere along in here, and I have to drill a hole, and then also on the other side. So I'm gonna go over there and look and make sure that I have access to tighten it down. So here we go. Next trick is gonna be figuring out how to remove this. I don't see any screws here, so I'm gonna have to go back underneath and look at it to see if there's anything that detaches this, so that I can get it out to modify it. Well, it appears that I do have to remove something to get to the head of those screws, because it appears there's 3 of them, but none were showing. So there's something. It looks like that plastic clips in right there. So see what I can do. Well, what I've determined is I can't get the drill in between the sidewall to get to the tab on either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the hole in the tab and then measure from the back wall of the bed to the side, so I know where to put the hole from the bottom or from the top. But that way I can get a better idea and locate the bolts. And then the other thing I did, because I show what I do wrong, I didn't measure that. I just situated it, drilled the hole, and lo and behold, there is a cross bed support brace down there. So I hit right in the middle of it, of course. So I think I'm gonna have to go with just 2 bolts on each side, or 1 on each side. So that's where we're going. All right, I got 2 holes drilled, and I'm thinking that that's all I'm gonna be able to do, because there's the 5th wheel hitch, the gooseneck hitch, there's a cross member, and that's about right where the tank falls out. So I guess I'm SOL, but maybe in the future I'll make some kind of bridge up just to extend that tab a little bit. But for right now, I'm just gonna move forward with the 2 holes. So there's one, and the other ones I'll show you. All right, so there's the inlet, but the hole for the bed is right there for the tank. So you can see how close it came to the fuel filler. So I am pretty pumped about how nicely it fit. I'm going to be able to do that. I'll probably have to get my wife to hold the ratchet up on the top, but I'm not going to do that yet because I'm going to have to drill a hole for and put a man, I'm having a brain damage. It's Sunday. Grommet so that I don't put a hole in the hose. So my next step is to do that. Actually, my next step is to take the fuel filler hose out. All right, so now I'm assembling my solenoid and pump. So I went and I bought a Holley, I think it's a 412, 427, 4 to 7 PSI. Just to help, and that way I can ensure it. And I'm going to wire the solenoid in front of the pump, and that way when I flip the switch, the solenoid will open and the pump will kick on. That's the plan. So it'll go through the filter that comes with the Holley pump right there. It'll go through there, then it'll go through my solenoid, and then it'll go down and fill up the tube. So what I'm doing now, so far, just to sum up where I'm at right now, is I've drilled the holes for the tank so that I could locate it, made sure that the tank or the toolbox opens up when I have the tonneau cover out of the way. And then I'm going to install the plug at the bottom, and then based on the location of that, that's where I will hopefully I got enough room so that I could come out of there. I was hoping I had a 90 degree on this, but the kit I got, it only has a straight barb. So I'm gonna come out of there, and then hopefully I have enough area to turn to the left. I'm gonna mount the pump and the solenoid in the bed of the truck because they will be not exposed to the weather right there because I'll have the tonneau cover closed. And then I'll drill a hole and go down and feed it to the rollover valve in the fuel line. So that's the plan. Now I just gotta commence to do it. So here I go again. Please also note that I'm using Teflon tape on all of these fittings to make sure I don't have any leaks, or cross my fingers and hope not to have any leaks. This is the solenoid that I'm using, 3/8 inch brass electric solenoid valve. But notice here, application, diesel fuel, kerosene, air, water, etc. So there you go. I made sure that I got one for diesel, and it is model USS 2-00006. So there you go, if you want to do that. Well, because of the lack of space, I went and got a 90 at the hardware store so that I can come out of the tank and turn 90. That way I can then have my whole system with the solenoid and the pump and the shutoff valve all in line. So I'm gonna go install this in the tank. All right, I got the 90 in. Now I got to put the shutoff valve, and then I'll move the tank back into place, assemble everything, and determine where I need to put the hole to get the line down to the filler neck. All right, so I have the 90 on with the disconnect. So now I can sweep out where it goes and then start to mount stuff so I can see where I need to put a hole. So. All right, I drilled a hole for mounting the fuel pump. I got the disconnect on. I had to turn it up at an angle so I could shut it off because of the way the bed turns in right there. So, moving on. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to continue. I'm going to get it all plumbed up, and then after I get all that worked out, then I'll run the electrical to the solenoid and the fuel pump. So I think I'm getting there. The next step is to take the old fuel neck out. So I'm gonna go do that. All right, to get to the bolts that hold the fuel neck on, gotta take these off. I think we gotta take these off all the way. Ooh, the def is definitely ugly. And then you use a pick to get up under there and pull it off. of those. Look at that, I damaged it. But there you go, that's where all the connections are. And I broke my cover. What the hell? Look at that. That little tab dried up and broke off. Man, it's a terrible day. All right, so I'll get a nut driver and we'll get those off. All right, these are 8 millimeters. Hopefully I ran enough diesel out of my tank to not spill all over the place. But we will see here in a minute. That would tend to suck a little bit. It also said if I need to cut the metal, I need to remove this from the truck before I cut, which makes a little bit of sense, you know. Even though. So there, I got all those out. There you go. Now I gotta go underneath and loosen the 2 hose clamps so I can take that out. So, all right, there are the 2 hose clamps that I've loosened. I didn't make you watch me struggle with them. So now I just gotta disconnect them and then I can pull the filler neck out so I can cut it down so that I can install the filler portion of the kit. So let me do that. All right, I got it out of there. I just had to get the hose clamps off, and then I used a regular screwdriver, a long-handled one, and just got up there and pried, and then I was able to pull it out. So now I'm gonna go figure out how much to cut off and cut it off. All right, so I cut it off, and I have to put the adapter on, and it's got to come, the adapter goes at the top, so it's going to be on this side. So then I have the hose. I'm going to put the hose clamps on so that I can get to them from below, unlike how they were before, because they were slapped together before they put the bed on. So anyways, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to Teflon tape and put the rollover valve and the fill valve in. And then I'll reinstall this in the truck. So that's the step next. I think I got it set up now. Hopefully it's adequate to squeeze in there. So I'll try that. And then we'll go from there. All right, so I couldn't get the whole kit and caboodle in there, so I just put the adapter in, and now I'm gonna put the rest of it in. But I got that in there good and tight. I have this angled, I think as high as I can get it, and still get it attached, but we'll see. And then I'm trying not, it's above. You know, it's not at 90, it's sort of 45'd up is the way I was trying to get it, so that you know, it doesn't like drain out of there. So we'll see. I may have to adjust that, but so here we go. All right, so that was the trick. You got to put the connector in first. I'm not going to tighten it up. I'm going to tighten up at the door, or the fill neck up here, and then I'll adjust these as much as I can and try and get that as vertical as possible, and then tighten everything down. But definitely get all this prepped, but install this first, because it's really hard to get it going and to tighten it up if you got everything in there. So that seems to be the secret to the fuel neck. So let me do that, and then I'll show you when I'm all done. All right, I got it all hooked up. As you can see, I've got the fill. Well, you can't see. There you go. I got that as vertical as I can because of distance between the fill tube and the bed, because it all fits over the top of the rail, the frame rail. So it is what it is. So now I got all that plumbed up. I just have to go up above and mount all my the fuel pump and the solenoid, and then I'll have to drill a hole and feed the hose through. That's another thing. Make sure you attach this hose to the fill while you got it down, because if you don't, it will be a bear. Let me tell you, a bear. So there you go. Let me go up and see how I can do up on the top. And like I said, I tightened down the fill neck. I got to put that back together, but this work is done. So again, to reiterate, the secret is putting the fill in. Make sure you got everything adjusted and cut to the right length, but put that in first so that you can then attach it to here and just the overflow, so, or the relief there. So anyways, let's move on. Reassembled, even though that's broken, it appears to be fine. It snapped back in. I don't think I have to replace that piece. Thank goodness I'm doing it for myself, so I don't have to buy somebody else a new one. All right, the instructions say to bolt down the box in the tank with these, put a washer on and then drop it through the hole, and then tighten it up from below. So I just gotta find a hole and drop it through. There we go. So it's my next step. And then it says to use these springs, put a washer on each side, and then tighten the nut down until it starts to compress the spring, and that's it. That allows the toolbox and fuel tank to move independently of the vehicle. So, you know, get a little shock absorption there. All right, I'm going to start wiring up the power. I plan to use it on auxiliary switch 1. So there is a tag down here that says, basically what it says is, the brown and green is relay 1 output. So I'm gonna reach down in there and get the brown and green wire, so that I'm gonna try and do it without cutting the cable tie or the zip tie on the rest of them. So I'll get that one up and then we'll go from there. So there is the brown with green stripe, which should be auxiliary switch 1. All right, I butt connected it, and now I'm going to get the heat gun and melt down the sleeve there, and then I will run the wire back to the back. This is going to be the positive, of course, since it's coming off here, and I'll just do a ground back at the back somewhere, wherever I can find a good chassis ground. So that's where we're going. So I brought the line or the wire down, and I'm using the existing support, and I'm gonna need to extend this because this wasn't long enough, but at least I'm gonna make most of the way. So I'll continue on. All right, so I got the power in the fill going right there, up right in front of the wheel well. I'm gonna go up above and see if I got enough room to put a grommet in there, and then I'm gonna hook up the pump and the filter and the solenoid to the power into the fill line, and then the only thing I have left to do will be to mount the tank, which I can't do by myself. My wife's at work. I'm gonna have her hold the wrench up above so I can tighten it down, but that's the install. So once I get it all hooked up above as far as wired and plumbed, I will show you what I got going on. So there's a view from up above. So I have power and the fill line, and then I'm gonna, in the space in between I will put the solenoid and the pump. So it's my next trick. All right, I got my pump in place, I got my solenoid in place, I got it all wired up. Now I just gotta tighten down the tank and I'll be done. So once I get that done and I drive it and I go put some diesel in it, I will see if it works or not, and then check for leaks. So if I end up having leaks, I'll let you know that too, and I'll let you know how it works. But you know, I'll give you an update as soon as I get it. But I can't tighten the stuff down by myself, so I'm gonna get somebody to help me, and that'll probably be this evening. So I want to get the video done and get it out. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps y'all. You know, I wanted to get it so that I'd have a little bit of more of an extended range when we're pulling the camper. The time was right. I had time to do it. And as soon as I test out to see if I got any leaks or anything, I'll make another video real quick just to show you how it works. So again, as always, thank you very much. If you liked it, please subscribe, please hit the thumbs up, and as always, have a great day. All right, for the final video of this, until I get it finalized, use it a while, and then I'll do a review. I have put 5 gallons of diesel in, and I'm gonna check to see if I have any leaks, which I hope I don't. So here we go. And you can hear it, and it's pressurized, and my little switch is working. We'll see how it all goes, and thanks for watching. I probably said goodbye a few times on this video. It's been a pretty long video, but thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please, you know, check the like button, and I appreciate it as always. Thanks for watching.